All right. Um, so I'm gonna continue today with what I was doing last time. It's just grabbing Bullet Heaven, my old game, and trying to fix it and make it more in line with the other games that I have made to make it just be a better reflection of my current skill set when it comes to making games. Let's just get right into it then. Oh, for Christ's sake, give me a second. Hello? Alright. So, just one second. I need to check something out. Oh god, where was that setting? Wait a second. What the fuck is going on? Give me a second. Okay, so I'm having technical difficulties, right, with this stupid bass tracking. So, okay, that seems to have done it a little bit. I mean, it's trying, it's trying. Okay, let's call this good enough then. It's a bit frustrating, it's frustrating. Okay. Now for real, this time for real, we're going to start. So, let's see. What did we do last time? I kind of forgot. Last time, I do remember we had this this whole thing that we changed. Right, we took all of those scripts out. So let's just apply all of these overrides. Okay. So now what we have is this guy right here. Which just sort of works, right? Right, that's the other thing that we did. We fixed the animator for the player. So let's make this space a little bit bigger. So right. So the other thing that we had going was this text that just shows us the current health of this guy. Now, it would be nice to have that be an actual health bar. We do have this other handler that is, right, this is for all the faces. We have this other handler that is in charge of, where is it? Right, of just, after 20 seconds pass without input, it's going to shoot up a text that says press Z to shoot, right? So first off, I don't like that. I don't like that implementation, and I don't like that it's the way that the script works. The script is doing a bunch of unnecessary shit, right? Basically, it's querying every frame whether there's a bullet player with game object find, which is not amazing. It's not gonna be a huge performance issue, but anyway, it could be cleaner, is what I'm saying. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna destroy that object. We don't want it. We also want to destroy that script, because we also don't want it, because I want a different script to do that. So that script is instruction timer, so we're gonna get rid of this and get rid of that script as well. A, B, C, D, F, G. Yeah, I don't want it anymore. Oh, that is taking a long time to compile. What's going on? Okay, so let's just sort of go in order and fixing things as we come across them. First, we have the player. It has a sprite renderer, which is just normal. It makes sense. It has this sprite. We also have a rigid body. I don't think we want a rigid body. We have a box collider. This animator, we have all these scripts. This player animation script is the one that I worked on yesterday. We have this life trigger. What does this do? It has a bunch of variables. This is mono behavior to trigger, which is odd. It checks for this life script. When it starts, it gets the life component. Okay, that's unnecessary. We don't want to be running that code when we could just assign it from the inspector, so let's just begin by doing that. Yeah, so now I can just feed it the life, and there it is. Then, what's it doing? It's checking it has a variable called life, and it's assigning it to the life, so it's getting the max life, the maximum amount of life, right? Then, if life is above or below the trigger point, if life is above the trigger point, it's going to say that above is true, otherwise it's going to say that above is false. Presumably so that it can trigger when life goes above an amount or when it goes below an amount, okay? I assume. If life... Yeah, it's going to say that life equals what the life script point life currently says. Um, what is this doing? I don't actually know. Let's see. It's taking this life variable. So the first thing that I did is it made it equal to what the life currently had, which at the start it's going to be just 1. Then it has the trigger point assigned by me. Oh, okay. I assigned this triggerable class, and so what this does is when the life crosses the threshold, it is triggering this. And this is the down handler, which triggers this sequence. Oh, that's great. That's usable then, because that means that I can just use it with just a sequence, just a normal game. What's it called? A normal you know, the Unity thing that lets me have sequences, that let me have timeline, which is the normal Unity timeline. I could just trigger it from here, given that these are of type triggerable, which I assign it here. Presumably I have a script somewhere that does that, right here. And all it does is, right, execute that assign these two functions. That's fine. We can work with that. Okay. So what's the rest of this logic? If you haven't been triggered, you want to check whether you were above, so whether you're approaching from above and the life is smaller than the trigger point, or whether you're not approaching from above and the life is larger than the trigger point. So yeah, basically that. And then if so, it's going to trigger. Okay, what was that? Try trigger equals to trigger as triggerable. Okay, this is silly because I could just do this. Triggerable, and then I don't need to do that. And then these all can be just that. That should still work. If you have been triggered, then you're going to check whether it is not equal to that trigger point, and you're going to set triggered as false, which makes it so the next update right, so the next update is going to, okay, yep, I get how this works now. Not sure how this works. This is some shit that I got off of ChatGPT that I still haven't learned how it works. But if it works the way that I think it should, and it doesn't, cannot implicitly compare to type bool? What do you mean type bool? It's not a type bool though. Where? 30, line 30. Line 30, life trigger line 30. Okay, yeah, I messed it up. The trigger equals true, right, because it's not to trigger, it's triggered. Yeah, okay, so that I should make so that it can still die properly, right? A player can still just game over. Okay, so sorry, I see a bunch of errors. What's going on here? Node reference point. Yeah, okay. Object reference not set to an instance of an object, which is life trigger 15. 15 life equals life script point life. But hold on, but it has been. Life script is this. Is the life the part that is not? No, it shouldn't be, because life is just a float. It's not assigned, it's not null, it's not a null reference point. It's just 0, right? Or at least not a number, but you know, it wouldn't be invalid is what I'm saying. Life trigger start. In line 15, it says that object reference not sent to an instance of an object. Hold on. Who? Does somebody else have a life trigger? That could very well be it. The bullets have a life trigger. Okay, that makes sense now. So then I'm gonna have to search for those bullets and make sure that they have their life trigger properly assigned to their own life. Did I not change that? That's gonna be an issue. Yeah, that's fine. These ones don't have a life. These ones don't either. Neither do these ones. Okay. That should make it better. Yeah, okay. No errors thrown. Good. However, the bullets are not colliding now. And although I am consuming them when they are impacting me, they are no longer affecting me. And my life is going down, so oh, I think I think I know what's going on. This to trigger. No, wait, where is the sign? Public triggerable to trigger. Oh, it's not serializable, so it's not appearing in the inspector, so I can't assign it from there. Okay, that should be an easy fix. I should be able to just triggerable, just make it system point serializable. I think that's how that works. No, it is only valid on class, struct, enum, and delegates. Let's make it a class then. Why the fuck not? Forget that. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up and find out what the fuck does interface mean. What's the difference between a class and an interface? I know what an enum is. Oh, the difference between all those things in C#. Really? Really? I open my browser and encoding overloaded? Fuck these shitty browsers, man. Honestly, just fuck the internet. What is it? Browsers used to be like ugh, a really minimum performance program. This shit ain't acceptable. Oh god. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna look it up on my phone. Fuck this. So let's see. I want to know what exactly a interface is on C#. What does it mean, and why can't I set it up as a serializable thing? What is it for, right? Because I should be able to, like, I could just make it a class. The thing is that those things are not going to be able to be two classes at the same time. What is an interface in C#? This is all a learning journey, right? Get AI assistance. No, AI assistance is what put me into this mess in the first place, Google, but thank you. I'll see about it. An interface in C# is a contract that defines a set of methods, properties, events, and indexers that a class or struct must implement. Interfaces is going to be instantiated directly, but they can be implemented by classes and structs. One of several tools for implementing object-oriented design in C#. Okay, so vomit then. It's object-oriented bullshit is what it is. Let's see. The nice thing about it is that I can just assume that it's going to have a trigger function without needing to know specifically the type that it... Actually, no. I had a professor that did something like this, so maybe I can just look up that code. Let me see. Please tell me I still have it. No, I'm pretty sure I deleted it. I'm gonna have to get it back then. Hold on. Okay, so what are the things that I can serialize? Class, struct. Okay, so class didn't work. Struct might. I don't think it will, but let's just try it. Struct. Yeah, triggerable is not an interface. Wait, hold on, where is that? Type trigger. Triggerable in interface list is not an interface. Where is that? Drama 3. Right. So, no, it does want to be an interface. But the problem is, how do I want to be able to set that interface from the inspector, which, like, it should be doable. So... Unity serialize an interface. Scripting attribute that instructs Unity to serialize a field as a reference instead of as a value. Without the use of serialized reference attribute, Unity serializes each of the fields of an object by value or by reference, depending on the field's type and according to these serialization rules. Unity Engine objects fields by reference and other field types by value. In case of a custom serializable class, this means it serializes only the data belonging to the object assigned to the field rather than a reference to the object itself. To force Unity to serialize these field types as a reference, use the serialize reference attribute. There is a reference rather than a value when you want multiple references to the same instance of a custom serializable class. That's how you fix the issue that I was having with the other thing, with the prefab, isn't it? Okay, no, I don't think it is. You want to use polymorphism on fields whose type is a custom serializable class. You want to serialize null values. By value serialization is more efficient than using serialized reference in terms of storage. Yeah, I don't think this is what I want. Favorite way to serialize interface. Hi guys, how do you serialize your interface? This looks promising. Ignoring the why would you serialize them debate, of course, because programmers are dickheads and they're always going to question what you're doing instead of letting you know. I have Odin Inspector and iUnified, but I was wondering what other people did. Oh, and this Unity coming out with any new serialization soon. I just type the field as component or scriptable object. Okay, I have no idea what this is. Let's just find that code that my professor did for that previous thing. This is gonna take a while. Right, it was on GitHub. And to be honest, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's not like I need to do this, realistically speaking. I could just... Oh, did he delete? Please don't he didn't delete it. Oh, okay, there it is. So I know that this code is somewhere in here, in here. No, this is not the code. Okay, yeah. It's this. This is what I want. Let's go. It's... You can't see what I'm doing. So public class, so then it goes grid item. And grid item is not there. Grid. Fucking hell, where is it? Grid item. Where does it define grid item? Oh, don't tell me it defines it in the fucking grid manager. This whole game is just gonna be looking through other people's codes, right? Isn't it? Grid arena manager. Right, okay, so here it is. Just... Right, so here it is. Is all this. So it's doing system, right? And the thing that I want is over here. It's grid item. No, it is not. Where is it defined then? That's grid slot. That's not the same thing. Grid arena manager. Grid slot. Fuck me. Okay. Good. Where is grid item defined? Scripts, prefab scenes, wall? Isn't a wall? There it is. For some reason, okay, so this is what it's doing. Right? It's a class. Right, it's a class. So in that case, I should be able to just write this. And it's the same functionality, basically. Right, and that just means that now every single thing that is a triggerable, it's going to have to be a class instead. Or rather, it's going to have to, right, so it shouldn't treat it, so it's not a mono behavior also triggerable, it is just a triggerable. Right, and so then... And triggerable is not, so it's not a mono behavior anymore though, that bothers me. Because doesn't that mean that it loses functionality? Or is a triggerable subset of mono behavior? Because ideally I would want it to be just a mono behavior. Yeah, okay, Unity. What do I lose if I don't use mono behavior? Like, what are behaviors, thing functionality that is specific to mono behavior that I might be losing? Because I want to be aware of that. Because the issue is that the interface is exactly what I want, but it's not serializable. And if I lose too much from using an alternative class, then that means that I'm just gonna have to do the stupid ass just memory shuffling mambo. Hey guys, I'm not finding much about this topic and I'm still trying to wrap my head around, but is it possible to create, say, C# scripts that don't inherit from mono behavior? If so, other than typical instantiation of an object, how is it possible to have it persisting across scenes since it's not attached to any game object, or can it be attached to a game object? I guess the only example for use I can come up with would be a singleton managerial class, but do tell if you have any. Is it possible? Yes. Non-monoscript to a game object, but if you can't, you could have a monoscript. Non-monoscript class. Actually, try the object don't destroy and load object function is defined on the object-based class and takes an object, so you don't actually need a mono behavior. You can create some such objects. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna do the mambo. We're just gonna make it an interface. I mean, this is literally what interfaces are for as far as I'm aware. So if this is not serializable, and I mean, system serializable, like, this is not going to work, is it? It would be super shocking if this didn't work, but that did. Also, just return you. This is this creation text. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So then we're just again. This is silly to have to do, but we're just gonna make it a mono behavior, and then we're gonna have a private triggerable to trigger, but actually this is gonna be to trigger mono. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna on start, we're going to do to trigger mono as triggerable, and the trigger is going to equal that. I think that's how you write it. It's a silly way to do it, but I mean, if it fucking works, then it works. Okay, so then to trigger mono is going to be just this. So what I'm doing is getting a variable type that is mono behavior and then converting that mono behavior to triggerable. Well, not converting, but like converting the reference from a mono behavior reference to a triggerable reference and then putting that in so that this line doesn't later complain that mono behavior doesn't necessarily specify a trigger, because triggerable does. So there. I guess I should also make sure that that it is actually a thing that can be a triggerable. So if to trigger equals null, then how do you just throw an error on C#? Really? Sorry, I'm just looking at OBS and opening a browser shouldn't be enough for the encoding to be overloaded. I mean, I know that I have VGIP Studio running and everything, but it's a browser, you know? Oh my god. Okay, Stack Overflow rant number 37, I guess, at this point. This asshole. Okay, the question is there any way in C# to throw a custom exception but without writing all the code to define your own exception class derived from exception? I'm thinking of something similar to those that I was using an example from fucking Oracle SQL, right? This guy is just like, no, there isn't. There shouldn't be. That's his response. That's his answer to the question. He explains himself. My rationale is rationale, you fucking idiot. Exceptions carry a lot more information than just a message. They carry stack trace and they can carry an inner exception. SQL raise error does not. Another reason is they're raising an error. So you just think that your exceptions are better. I mean, which, I mean, they might be, but just shut the fuck up, honestly. If you didn't want to answer the question, then just don't answer the question. Stupid, 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 idiot. God, I fucking hate programmers so much. I mean, I'm gonna rant again. This is definitely just the example, the prime example when I think of a person that knows what they should be doing, like knows what the right thing to do is, but has no idea why right? Like, cannot conceive of alternative use cases of things that are slightly out there. Just fundamentally incurious and uncreative person that just happens to have a lot of technical ability in some field of another or another. And that's most programmers. They have all these paradigms and all these ideas of how things should be done, and then they will preach to them as if it's a great cause that they are just going for, right? Evangelizing, proselytizing, and then telling everybody that's doing things slightly different, doing that they're doing it bad. And the thing that they don't realize is that those best practices that they've learned are a lot of times purely and simply ways to coordinate across a large team, which most of the people they're espousing all these, oh my god, so sacred best practices to are simply not, and not interested in ever doing. I mean, by God. Okay, what the fuck was I doing? Right, I just wanted to raise an error in that line. I fucking hate Stack Overflow so much. That's the worst part about it, is that it's useful, right? Because the same place that this asshole is at, there's another guy that has the actual answer that I want. Right? Like, I wish it was less useful so that I could be rid of it. Let's see. So actually, what I'm realizing is that the down handler. No, okay. So it works. It's the that. Okay. So let's see. There's life trigger. Yep. So I forgot a semicolon. Okay. What? 23. I'm not doing that again. Oh. Double equals no. Type of names for exception. Okay, so do I have to like include it here? Probably using exception. I mean, the guy that posted the answer in Stack Overflow was just could not be found. Okay, whatever. Don't. You know what? I don't actually care. Just use a debug bug. Like, I'm pretty sure that these post the stack trace as well, so. Okay, so I'm finding this error already. Where is that? We're having life trigger in probably the bullets, actually. Okay, so bullet base. No, not the base. Okay, destructible. So yeah, the issue is that it doesn't know what to trigger. And what to trigger should be this down handler. Luckily, I just called them the same, so that's easy to find. So we have the destruct, we have the heal bullets, so that should be the same. Yep, those should be the same. We have the immune bullets, those are not destroyable, so that's fine. We have the player bullets, so those do the same. We have the dashing longhorn. Okay, yeah, those should be all working. Okay, so seems to be working. It's not throwing any errors. Let's see. Does Francisco have any any of that life trigger? Because he has life. No, but that's because the actual triggerable is the life handler, and that has a lot more complication to it. So of course it's not going to bother itself. What is this 1,000? Right. So all of these handlers are there. This is what is this actually? Oh, this is just this Clara. Right. Okay. So let's just Clara sprite. Right. This thing is aiming towards the player, probably? Why is its target to transform? Oh. Is it rigid body used ever? No? Get it out of here then. Yeah, so on start it's finding the game object with the angel. We can make that better. We can make that better, yeah, for sure. Let's make this player movement a singleton. Actually, let's use something that I learned from some chat member last time. And yeah, and just have this be another thing. So we're going to create that triggerable interface. We're also going to create the singleton instance interface singleton. And it's going to be void. Oh, is that how it works? Oh, I should have written it down when that guy told me. Okay, let's not try to use something that I don't know how it works. Let's just go to the player. I do know that in every instance there's only going to be one player movement script, so let's just deal with that. We're going to make it a singleton, so yeah, let's just copy the code from the other place. Really? Are you for fucking real, Microsoft? So I open a window and the encoding is overloaded. I didn't change my settings. I did not change any of my settings. On OBS for streaming. Twitch, destination, auto. Auto video. Oh, I can't change that unless. Okay, we're gonna play with those settings after this. Okay, so where's the code that I'm looking for? Dirty stuff. Right here. Unity stuff. We want to go for the script. We have the ones in top C. Those are the ones that oh, I don't have them. Why don't I have them? I should have them backed up. Did I not save them? Fuck's sake, I did not save them. Stuff is not going well today. I'm just finding a lot of things that I just shouldn't have done that I ended up doing. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna have to go to GitHub then. Hey, Firefox, please don't destroy my encoding again, will you? It's just a bit of text that I always forget how to write. Asset. Excuse me, what? Oh no, because it's in the branch. For some reason I have a main branch and a master branch. It's in assets, script, and then just any of these. Yeah, it's just this. It's just this. Let's just make it a singleton, and then just I can access it from everywhere with that. So then this this angel, this large angel, it's called Francisco. That was just a joke with me and the person that was working with this on this with. Like I just randomly said a name and he just went with it. It's not like the name appears in game, so. Alright, so, okay, so that's what I want. So now the eye chaser is going to, instead of looking for the target like that, it's going to actually just know immediately where it is because it's a singleton. And there's always only one player movement anyway, so whatever. So, yeah, we're gonna do... target equals player movement point instance point transform, and the rest should be the same. The rest is just exactly the same. If target equals null, then return. Yep, that's fine. Let's get rid of these comments because I know what start and update do. Yep, okay. Movement does not. Yep, I misspelled it. It's transform, and also this one should be private actually because I don't need it anymore. I don't need it to be public anymore. Yeah, then it does a bunch of vector maps and just does its thing. Yep, so it's constantly following the player. Yep, okay. So what is that sorting group about? Well, why do you need a sorting group? You have game objects, you have an empty game object, and the actual Sclera? Why do you have an empty game object? Couldn't we just... Could we just... Oh, okay, yeah, I know why it's child. It is so that this... Yeah, it is so that I can just rotate this and it'll rotate right rather than rotating this, which will just rotate along its own center. So, yeah, I see why it has a child. But let's just get rid of this. I don't think I need that. And then, yep. Okay, so that is working. Excellent. Okay, so little by little we're just fixing this and making it just not a complete piece of shit for code. This target. Now, the thing is, I'm not sure if this target is going to mess anything if I delete it. It might, right? Yes, it does, because that's where the player is aiming. So, yeah. So that's like that, but what I could do is have the player aim at the angel rather than at the target. The issue is that the player movement is looking for that target on start. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's fix this now. We have a maximum Y, X, and X and Y position for all of these. You have the animator and the target. First of all, do you use the animator anymore? Because I remember I made it so that... Yeah, no, you don't. Okay, so you don't need this then. And you don't need this. Right. So we have this transform, which is the target. And you're not using it. Hold on, why are you not using it then? Is the aimer the one that uses it? Yes. Okay, so this doesn't need it then. If I take it out, does that kill anything? Does that kill anything? Yes, it does. But why does it? Well, if the code itself doesn't use it, then the only thing that I can think of is that the aimer is getting the target from the angel. Which is a weird way to do it. As this target. Oh, no, yeah, it's because when I deleted this, I blocked that reference, and I guess it didn't restore it when I undeleted it. So it would have to be this, and then I can safely get rid of that here. So I don't need you to have this either. Right, so does that work? Yes, it does. Okay. Okay, so we're still getting rid of variables that we don't need. We have this horizontal input and vertical input. Get axis row, horizontal and vertical. I mean, do we do an input system? We could, I suppose. Oh god, do I want to? The input system is such a pain in the ass. I don't wanna. Let's just leave it like that for now. If I want to do it, I'll do it later. Yeah, we're telling the animation script whether we're idle, we're normalizing the diagonal, and then we're applying the movement of the rigid body to the component. So this is the thing that I want to fix, because I don't think I want a rigid body. I don't want physics simulations, actually. Because the kind of game that this is, I don't really benefit from it much. But I could make it kinematic. The same effect, right? Yeah, and that way I get to use the speed calculations here and just be fine with that. Movement times speed, and speed is this. Okay, so let's just make it so that you don't have to do this at the start of the round of the game. Just completely eliminating the need for this. Just make it public. So then just do this. Also, let's just make this a bit more nice. We'll header variable, no, parameters. These are parameters. Parameters. And then it just makes everything more organized. Header references. We're gonna grab these and put them here and here. And then, right, so we have this position, we have the clamped position within range, using clamped position point X. What? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, we're starting from this and then we're doing that. So, rigid body point position equals clamped position. We want to use the rigid body for that, so that the rigid body is not caught off guard. Although it shouldn't matter because it's already being kinematic, but whatever. We're already using the rigid body velocity, we might as well use the rigid body position. Then a name script point dead is equal to the speed being equal to 0. Okay, so that is a thing that is weird that I want to fix. How do you check that you're dead? It is obviously when this life trigger reaches that trigger point. Yeah, it is obviously when this life trigger reaches that trigger point, and then it does this down sequence. What this down sequence does is it has a transform that is equal to the spawn point. That is just up here. So that is where the player will reappear when he dies. Yeah. Then it has to recover. So that is how much health he's going to get back. In this case, it's 1 because it's a one hit and you die sort of game. It has this counter. When you're triggered, you set counter to 1. You're triggered, you reset counter to 100. You go to the enemy life script? Player life script? Right, so what I'm getting from this is that these two are probably using the same down sequence. No, this isn't using the same down sequence. So then, why do you have an enemy life script? What are you doing with that? You're going enemy point get component. Okay, so what is enemy here? Nothing? Nothing. Just literal nothing. Oh, no. Okay. I know what it is. Yeah. When the player dies, the enemy regains life. It regains 100 life, and that is what this is about. This counter is making it so that it regains that life just sort of one tick at a time. Right? So like, the player loses health, loses life, gets hit by a bullet right there. Yeah, it just goes up one time. Right, so this is the first thing that we could very easily replace into a different system. We could make it so that this works with a timeline, and then that allows us to do more, to trigger more just visual effects and other stuff from it without having to rely on a single script. We can make it just more timed, right? Yeah, okay. I'll tell you what, I have to go to the restroom, so I'm gonna be right back. It should be pretty short. Just give me 1 second, please. Alright, back. That didn't take very long. Okay, so, yeah, what I was saying. This is the first thing that I think we could very easily replace and make work a lot better. It's going to need a bunch of setup, but I think we can do it. So here's what we're gonna do. We have this life script, right? So this is already a good place to have oh god, what is this? What is all this? This is a lot. Okay, this is a good place to start putting a bunch of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna have to straighten this up a little bit. So we have this life that has a life and a max life. And so on start, it is taking... It is transform point find text. It is taking this text object, and if it is not null, it is finding a game object that has the name text and assigning it to text object. Wait, so does that mean that Angel accidentally acquires that text object? The one corresponding to the enemy? No. No, how come? So this doesn't have the text object either, but somehow this one does grab it, right? Right, that's because that's not game object point find, but rather transform point find, and transform point find only finds it in the children. Okay, this is a weird thing for this to work. So what we should be doing instead is assign Francisco this text, and then make it just the health text. And then just sort of instead of finding it through its name, you're just gonna have it assigned from the inspector. So we don't need any of this. Then this is formatted like absolute dog shit. What the fuck is this? So this one for some reason is closing all of this. So you're getting the sprite render component to do this, but actually, okay. Just organize everything. Header, references. We need those. First of all, the one that we just got, the text object, right here. But actually, we don't want it to be just an object, because you're using that here to get the component that is the Text Mesh Pro. So in that case, let's just make it a Text Mesh Pro from the get-go. Text Mesh Pro. And then, so this is already found, so we don't need this or this. So since we already have the get component, this is Text Mesh Pro, so then instead we're just gonna do a text object point text equals the live, and we're done. Do you use it at any other point? No, you don't. Okay. Then we're going to do the other thing, that is just getting the sprite render component. That is already here, so why wouldn't we do it here? You can tell that I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing this the first time. Okay, so then we don't need this either. Then we are looking for Francisco. And assigning that here. When do you use that? And finding the animator and doing that here. When are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You're getting the Francisco component, the animator component on Francisco, and then setting pull to dead. That is only on Francisco, isn't it? So yeah, this is for the full game over sequence. But that is the only reason you need to specifically know Francisco, right? So whenever Francisco's health is minus 1,251, you're doing all that. So let's not do that then. So why is the formatting so ass? Let's not do that then. So I don't want that, right? And so since I don't want that, then I don't need this. And this animator is just the animator component in Francisco, which is also not being used, so I don't need this either. So then we can just get rid of this. Yeah, we can get rid of the entire start function now. Then you're also doing a bunch of things on trigger enter. You're comparing the tag to the damage tag. So you have a damage tag and a minor heal tag. And the heal tag. Oh, this is a mess because I know I hand done. Hey, Nex! I'm untangling a bunch of spaghetti code and I do not like it. So... yeah. This script is handling the life of the... handling the life of both the player and the enemy. That's really the issue, is that This down script happens. This down script is used nowhere. Okay, so we don't need this either. What about this down handler? It is also used nowhere. Okay, so we don't need this either. This text object is this text object, so yep, that's also gone. We have this text mesh pro component, which is also not used at all. Gone. This damage tag is used, the manual heal tag is used, the heal tag is also used. Life and max life are obviously just the most important bits of this whole thing. We have heal amount, we have hurt frames, we have hurting. Ooh, okay, I could do this. I know what I could do. I could use a dictionary, right? I could use a dictionary that matches a string to an int, and basically that is just what happens when it collides with this tag. When on trigger enter, it compares, is it the damage, is it one of these tags? Yes, no. If it is, then just find it, right? So yeah. Okay. Text update, reset life. Reset life just kind of... Text update is just very obvious, so this one we can leave as it is. Reset life is also very obvious. Life equals max life, and then text update. We have drain life, no hurt. That is just that. Which is not the same as hurt, right? So when it is hurt, when it is the damage tag, it's going to do all of this stuff. Drain life, no hurt. It's just a way to bypass most of it, so that it drains life, but it doesn't trigger the hurt animations and everything. So we have add a life. Okay, let's get rid of the hurt color and the heal color, because we want these to be we want the heal and the hurt animation to be handled by its own animation handler, let's say. Actually, let's keep them for now, just in case if they break anything, but we want to just keep in mind that we're gonna delete this in the future. Let's see. So then let's do that dictionary definitions that we can match those. How did you define a dictionary again in C#? Gonna have to look that up. It's like a hash map. Right, okay. So we're gonna do that here. Header parameters. It's gonna be dictionary. It takes a string and spits out an int. It's gonna be called tag, no, health values. So just health changes. Or to be mathematical, I would call it health delta. It needs to be a public. Does that let me assign it from the inspector? Or is it a non-serializable? Error parameters. Live references. Okay, so and in that case, let's just have it be. Please tell me that it's serializable. System point serializable. Also, like I did some changes here. I'm not sure what I did, but I need to save those. System serializable is not valid. Okay. I mean, really? Come on. Unity serialize dictionary. It's basic C# functionality, Unity. Come on, just let me serialize it. But I need to use dictionaries or something similar to serialize data that contains. I have tried something like this, and then there's the code. Have you seen this question? If you see a generic type foo serializable public class foo and use it in the following way public class. Although there already is an accepted answer, I would like to share a solution that is better in my opinion. It uses iSerialize callback interface to implement the serialization functionality into a class derived from the dictionary. Still have to derive a non-generic class from this one. This works with no extra tinkering. I'm reading this. I'm reading how to do this. If we have a generic type foo, serializable public class foo, inside of it a list with stuff, and use it in the following way. It has a class called foobar that is mono behavior, and it is inside of that created the foo. The instance variable baz won't be serializable. However, if you create a non-generic subclass of foo, public class foo int, public foo int baz. Sorry, what do you want me to do? So, with regards to the dictionary, you're saying public class, and we're just string int dictionary. That is a dictionary string int like that, and then that. Okay, so oh, this is an old answer. So yeah, so it would have to be system. They changed that somewhere along the way. Okay, so that is no error. And then if I use this new class, for some reason it's gonna be serializable. Why would that work? No, it doesn't. Okay. So maybe I did it wrong though. Changes. Right, so it's dictionary string int, foo int, foo string into dictionary. Oh, this is assuming. This is assuming that the dictionary already exists, rather than the string int dict. Right, because it wants a subclass of it. Okay. So what this guy is saying is that public class string, or rather, let's just say dictionary, right? Dict. Let's call it dict so that we don't step on the toes of the other definition. We have a dict, right? Class called dict that receives two types, right? Let's call them T and Q. Let's go T and U, right? And this class consists of nothing but a dictionary that takes keys T and indexes them as U, two types, right? Type T and type U. And it's called stuff, right? And then I take this dict, right? And I tell it, hey, I want a dict of type string and int. And I say that I want this to be serializable, so this to be serializable, and this doesn't exist, right? Then this, it's not going to work. That's what he's saying. And it doesn't. Okay. However, that for some reason, if I define a subclass of it, is that what am I reading this right? Public class foobar, in my case, foobar is right. Foobar is the new one, so I'm calling it that, and just specifying the mono behavior. Right. So that's the one that doesn't work. So the one that does work is that for some reason foobar mono behavior, right? That's this, right? So, and he wants me to do another serializable subclass that I give it a different name. That is the one with the things already defined. So for some reason like this. And then I create the variable. Like this. That for some reason that would work. And he's saying that he doesn't understand why it works either. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, where is this answer from? This is from 2013. Yeah, no shit, it's not gonna work. I should have checked that first. Okay. You know, so... let's just delete all this. This was just completely useless. Okay, so... the thing that I want is... a dictionary... feature request... serialized dictionary... what is this? It has been used frequently in all the jobs I've worked, so it's inevitable for Unity to have this or try many users to Unity. Unity should have a serializable dictionary that can be edited through editor. Yeah, obviously. Keeping the dictionary as a list, we've got an internal implementation that is very similar. It actually starts to add up with our load times when there's a bunch of before or after serialized code. Used frequently in all the jobs. It's how do I make serialized dictionary in Unity for 3D models? If you really want to go for the entire dictionary functionality, including key checks, cheaper value access. So it just can't be done. It just can't be done is what I'm getting at. What I'm getting here. Why could it not? It's dictionary. It should be easy. Should be doable. Okay. So then, scratch that. That idea not valid anymore. We don't want it. What we want in that case is an array, right? Oh, we're gonna have to do pairs. Okay, I did this before. Where did I do that though? I forget. I did it in... yeah, we're gonna have to do it like this. The issue is that it would have been really comfortable to not have to iterate through the whole thing by hand every single time you go into... you have a collision, right? But it's fine. So what we want is this, and we want to go to you. Yeah, so I want this. So I need a struct that is serializable. I'm going to need a serializable struct that is going to be a pair, a range pair, a tag damage. It's going to consist of a string called tag and an int called damage. Actually, rather than damage, it should be health. Tag health. Tag health. And so we have tag and we have health. That way negative values represent lower health, a lot of health, so damage, and positive values represent recovering health. So tag and health. Then we have this string tag with uppercase. We have this int health with uppercase, and then this point tag equals tag, and this point health equals health, and then we are going to do, let's put this here, just over here so that it's neater. Then we are going to header parameters. We're gonna do an array of those tag healths. So public tag health array, just like that. We don't need to specify because yeah, but the array has to have a name, so it's gonna be tag health called tags tag list. Tag list. It's not a list, it's an array, but you know, it's close enough. Method must have a return type that is in 22. Does it? This one didn't have to. But yeah, why did this not have to? Oh, because the name has to be that. Yeah. That is the return type. Tag health is not going to contain artificial more health. I must have misspelled it, I guess. Health. This point health. Yeah, there it is. It's lowercase. Assignment made to the same variable. Did you mean to assign something else? Or is it life? Right, because this one is uppercase. There we go, and now we should have this tag list. God, what a pain in the ass. This is literally all I wanted, but in a dictionary. Like, was it really that difficult? Why can't you... Unity, why the fuck can you serialize arrays of just structs that are custom, but not dictionaries? They're basically the same thing. This makes no sense. Well, if they're basically the same thing, then why... Right, that's the obvious counter argument. If they're basically the same thing, then you should be able to use just the one anyway. Yeah, shut up. Okay, so now I just need to make these work, right? So... Okay, so yeah, the way that this works is that it assumes that bullet damages by a total of 1, right? So enemy bullet damages a total of 1, and for the player in particular, it doesn't have a heal tag or automatic heal tag. That is fine. The enemy, however, works a bit different. It's going to have 3, because it first takes bullet, total of from bullet it takes a total of 1 health, 1 damage, and then from empty. Oh, because it hot switches them when it changes mode, doesn't it? Oh my god. So I'm gonna have to do that here as well. I think that's how it works. Is it here? Start shooting, single warning, razor will be here. Red light, green light. So it's... That's a shot? No, it's a shooter. The shooter has this save time. What it does is it searches for Francisco, and then it switches its heal tags. Oh my god, what a pain in the ass. So then... Yeah, if it hits the heal tag, it is healed by that number, and that number is 15, right? So, but actually, it's not 1; it's -1. It takes 1 damage, so it loses 1 health when it impacts with an enemy bullet. And Francisco, it impacts with a bullet, it gets damaged by 1. It impacts with a shot. It impacts with a healing tag, and it heals by 15. That's the whole idea. And then it's going to have this changed when it switches into healing mode, but we're going to deal with that then. Okay, so now I need to make it so that this on trigger enter checks against that instead of against this, right? So the way that it should do it, let's just shift all of that down. is that for each string tag in tag list, if collision point game object point compare tag then we found the tag, we can just do the thing. Yeah, we're going to need to find the, so we're probably going to actually need to do another for loop. For int I equals 0 all the way until I is, so long as I is smaller than tag list point length, with increasing I by 1 every time. If the collision game object, if you compare the tag and it turns out to be equal, so tag list I point tag, then you're going to do the thing. So then we need to discriminate whether the tag is smaller than 1 or higher than 1, right? Why do I need only you to destroy the game object? Why do I need only you to destroy the game object? I think I have an idea of why that may be, but I think I must have put there because I was running into an error where if I put this line here, it was trying to destroy an object that was already destroyed, but that's just a circumstantial thing because of those objects being bullets that destroy themselves when they collide with anything, which is probably only different for this bullet. Okay, tell you what. We're going to just do it assuming that this is not an issue, and then when it is an issue, we're going to find how to fix it. But we're going to have to fix it a different way because this is going to work in a completely different manner. So, if tag list I is smaller than 0, health is the health amount, so it should be health. Yep. When the health is smaller than 0, then you're gonna do one thing. Otherwise, if it is larger than 0, then you want to do another thing. The reason I'm not just doing it as an else is because I want to allow the possibility that it is equal to 0, and in that case, just to not do either of them. Right? Just to have an object that you can collide that will trigger all the other stuff that comes with a change of life, except actually changing your health. So then, we want yep, we want, if it is smaller than 0, we want to reduce, we want all of this, right? So let's just paste them and we'll see about it. So you want life. Yeah, reduce life by 1. We don't actually want that. We want to reduce it by health, by the amount of health. And since that amount is already negative, we're going to want to add it, because adding a negative number is reducing it. Then you want to update the text. Then you're going to check against the sprite. Right, this is the color stuff. So, makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense. Then, if... So then here you want to add a life, which is apparently a function here, which triggers the heal color, right? So, and the heal amount here is just the health. And then I want you to do text update. And then I want you to destroy the collision object. But except actually, since add life is handling the animation here, then why not just do it here as well? So just... Okay, so all of this is redundant now. Why not just do this instead? So use add life again, and we're gonna add a negative number here, right? Which is this. And then we're gonna be handling all of this through there. And that should make it so that the only difference really is this. So if amount is larger than 0, actually we can do better. Sprite point color equals, is the amount greater than 0? If so, then heal color. If not, then hurt color. Get rid of this. And then that means that we can get rid of all of this. And we're gonna have to destroy the object as well. But except that actually makes it so that both of these things are actually the same now. So we can just do this. Yeah, why do I have one extra? Yeah, I don't want that. So you, and you. That's probably gonna throw an error somewhere. Yes, but not the one that I expected. It's 37, line 37. There's an unclosed parenthesis, I guess. Or unopened in this case. That's probably going to throw an error when I shoot bullets at the enemy. It's probably going to try to destroy them. So, yeah. The variable sprite of life has not been assigned. Actually, that's a different thing. Where is that? That is in the angel down handler. Down handler? No, Francisco. Francisco is saying that its sprite variable has not been set. So that's... And then the player should have a similar issue. Yeah. The text render is whatever. And then the bullets are going to complain because they have life as well. So... And heal And immune doesn't have health. The player bullet needs that as well. And all of those don't. Okay, well, what's going on? Because these don't actually have anything in this tag list. So colliding with each other shouldn't lead them to doing anything. Because the tag list of this, of the object they're colliding to with which the object they're colliding with, which is each other, just doesn't have a tag. So it's just going to go right through here. It's going to do this. Oh, well, and then skip all this. So it should have no reason to be adding life. Which is the only place where that gets changed, doesn't it? Moreover, why is Francisco's color not changing? He has these two tags, one with a negative number and the other with a positive. That should make it so that this variable is being set. And so this is happening. Heal color and hurt color. Hurt color is just red, heal color is just green. It's just green half-half, red half-half. It's the same as it ever was. Show me all your variables. Show me your hurting. This is what I want. Whenever it hits a bullet, that number should just go up a certain amount. It becomes 15, and then it stops going down. It just doesn't go down. Hurting equals amount times hurt frames. Hurt frames is 15. Amount is... yeah, the amount. And the color isn't changing. This is definitely happening because this is the only place where hurting gets changed. Yeah, hurting is larger than 0. Hurting minus equals 1. Right, doesn't equal null. Hurting is larger than 0 because it was 15. You should be reducing by minus 1. Right? Hurting is minus 15. Oh, okay, yep. It has to be the absolute value, because the idea of multiplying by amount here is that it's going to last longer the more power that the bullet or the whatever has. What the fuck do you mean? I know it does. Really? C# absolute value is not like that? Oh, it's uppercase. You know, I think I've realized that the internet cuts sort of happen very consistently at this time of the day. It could be just me thinking that it happens that way. Like it could be just false, just confirmation bias or something. But it feels to me that they always happen this time of the day. So I'm going to start logging them when they happen in a text file. And hopefully that will lead to me fixing it, because honestly this is very annoying. A microcut usually doesn't matter that much if it lasts like 5 seconds. It is super annoying just every time. It's like, I pay for this shit. I don't pay for this shit. My family pays for this shit, so I'm not gonna... It's not... Whatever. Okay, so what I was doing, right? Yep, just give it a second. Yeah, okay. So now it works. Now it is showing the thing. The bullets are still being incorrectly colored yellow, but that's white when they should stay yellow, but that's fine, because actually that was my mistake. I think I just shouldn't have given them the sprite. I think that in this case they should just be left as none, because I don't want those to be affected in any way. And in any case, this functionality shouldn't be part of this script anyway. It should be somewhere else. We're gonna fix that later, because right now I just want to get it working. Right, so if I just not give it, then the script is probably going to complain. No, it's not. Okay, and do the bullets stay the color they should be? And when I hit them, yes, okay, but they're not dying, so that's not nice. So that means that the bullets should have their tags. Yes, so they need a tag list. They need to know that when they are hit by a normal bullet, then they should be reducing their health by 1. And same for the heal bullet. When it is hit by a player bullet, health reduced by 1. The immune one doesn't have health because it's immune. The player bullet, when it is hit by an enemy bullet, should have its health reduced by 1. And then dashing, long war, and war zones, all of those don't have health. So then that should make it so that the bullets now destroy each other. Okay, so who's complaining? Right, they're not. I shouldn't have closed it. I should have paused it so that I could see who it was. Okay. Okay, but it's complaining at line 68, right? So that is this line, right? So really, I just need to add this line as well. If sprite does exist, then do all that. Otherwise, just don't even bother, right? And that way, it can be a script that doesn't necessarily have to have it, but if it does have the variable, then it just has some extra functionality. Look at all these errors. I don't think they're real errors. I think they only happened because I was compiling while the game was trying to run. Right, so now the bullets collide with each other and they just kind of destroy each other. Also, hold on. Did I get a number wrong? It feels like they didn't used to... Like, I used to be able to just sit in one spot and still damage the angel, and now it's just killing me. I didn't change how many bullets he shoots, so... Did I just get one bullet wrong? It has 2 life and a max life of 2, and each enemy bullet should damage it by 1. You know what? It doesn't matter. That actually makes the game more challenging. It's not like I was particularly married to the idea of you staying in a place and just being able to hold a button to victory. That's not very great, is it? So, okay, so in that way, by doing all that bullshit, we have managed to rid ourselves of the need for all of these variables. We don't need them anymore. So then we have life and maximum life. These can stay, these are fine, but they should be probably a bit more organized. We're gonna put them in parameters. Actually, max life is a parameter, but life is a variable, so... Variables. And I'm gonna keep it public, because that makes it easier. Hurt frames is a parameter. It's an int, I'm gonna put it there. Public. Why did I make it private? It's just how many frames the hurt color should be active for. Then we have hurting, which is a variable. This one should probably just stay private. And then we have the 2 colors that are just the hurt color and the heal color. They're going to be parameters, and I want them to be public actually so that I can edit the color from the inspector. And that just means that this script is now properly organized and not a complete mess. We still have to separate functionality, because I would like the life script to only be handling the life numbers, and to have a separate animation script or animator component that will be taking care of, you know, flashing the right colors on screen, right? But honestly, I think I've worked on this for long enough, and I did want to not spend the entirety of today's stream. Oh, god damn it. Right, this is the problem, right? I have a bunch of other stuff that is kind of dependent on those values. So, you know what? Let's leave that just for fixing next time, right? We can just... leave this for fixing next time. So, let's save here. The problem is that Unity is going to complain later. It's going to be scary because it throws up like a big warning when you have compilation errors before runtime, but that's fine, it's whatever. The good thing about leaving this is that it'll give me an objective immediately to start working on next time I start. So, I did not want to spend the entirety of today's stream coding, so we are going to be playing a game later. I'm going to be back to playing Dynasty Warriors because apparently I can't help myself, and I am going to beat every Musou mode just so that I get a taste of every character. Because apparently I have a big tolerance for tedium. I guess you need so in order to be a programmer. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be back soon, and when I am, we're gonna start doing that. So give me 1 second. Alright, so we're gonna leave it at this. I'm gonna be back soon.